This is going to be the tutorial that's going to show you how to make these raspberry stitch fingerless gloves. And for this tutorial, you're going to need a 5mm hook or a size H hook and one skein of yarn. And it's going to take less than one skein. This one is 250 meters or 273 yards, but you won't need a whole skein. You can make the whole set with less than a skein. So get those materials and let's get started. And to begin, you want to chain 24. And if you want to make it smaller or bigger, the multiples of this stitch that you're going to be using is 3. So adjust it by reducing by 3s or increasing by 3s if you want to adjust the size. So you chain 24. And then you want to slip stitch in the beginning chain. Make sure that your chain isn't twisted. Slip stitch in that beginning chain to form a ring. And then you want to chain 2. And then the chain 2 is not going to be counted in this this beginning part. So it's just a step up. So in the same stitch, you're going to want to put a double crochet. And I'm just going through the top stitch only. Each chain has 3 sections in it, and I'm only using the top section. In the next stitch, again, put a double crochet. Get a little closer here. Oh, there we go. So you just want to continue working in just that top stitch and putting 1 double crochet in each stitch around. So continue to do that, and I'll see you when you get back up here to the beginning. Okay, and back up to the beginning. Make sure you count your stitches. If you started with 24, make sure that you still have 24. And you want to skip this beginning chain as though this chain 2 as if it doesn't exist, and slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet. Then again you want to chain 2, and then you want to front post double crochet using this first double crochet. And then you want to back post double crochet using the post of the next double crochet. Only using the post. You're going to alternate by doing a front post and then doing a back post double crochet. And you'll want to continue this all the way around, doing a front post and then doing a back post. So keep alternating that all the way around, and I'll see you when you get back up here to the beginning. Okay, when you get back up to the beginning again, you will always want to skip this chain 2 as if it doesn't exist and slip stitch in the top of the first front post double crochet. And then chain 2. Now you're going to be repeating round 2, which is the one we just did, 3 more times for a total of 5 rows of this double crochets. 5 rows of, well actually this first one was just a double crochet round, and then this is when you made it a front post and back post, and you'll do that 3 more times with the front post, back post for a total of 5 rounds. So you'll begin the exact same way. The first one you'll do a front post, and then the next stitch you'll do a back post. So you're doing a back post where you did a back post last round, and you're putting a front post in the places where you put a front post last round. You're repeating the exact same pattern. So we're doing round 3. So you want to do round 3, round 4, and round 5. And when you get done with the end of round 5, I'll see you back here. Okay, for the purposes of this tutorial, I just went ahead and finished the round 3, but you go ahead and you go to round 5. And when you're done with round 5, you'll slip stitch again in the beginning, double crochet, or front post double crochet, and then you want to chain 1. Then you want to turn your work, and then you can turn your work inside out. Now you are facing what's called the wrong side. The side you want facing is called the right side. So you're facing the wrong side right now. And you want to start this very first stitch with your raspberry stitch cluster. And to do that, you go right into the same stitch that you just slip stitched into and do a single crochet, a double crochet, and a single crochet, all worked into that same stitch. Then you will want to skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and then the third stitch you'll want to repeat your raspberry stitch cluster by doing a single crochet, a double crochet, and a single crochet, all worked in the same stitch. And then you'll repeat that for the rest of the round, skipping 2 stitches, and then the next stitch doing your raspberry stitch cluster, which is a single crochet, a double crochet, and a single crochet, all worked in the same stitch. Skip 2, then single crochet, double crochet, and single crochet, all in the same stitch. Skip 2, and again single crochet, double crochet, and single crochet. So just keep repeating this all the way around. Skipping 2, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, skipping 2 stitches. Looks like I got a bit of a knot in my yarn. There we go. Okay, and the last 2 are the skipped stitches, because you always skip in between. So there's my 2 skipped stitches, and now we're going to go right into this first single crochet of the cluster, because every cluster is single crochet, double crochet, single crochet. We're always going to be working in the first single crochet of the cluster, always. So you're going to slip stitch in here, and I'm just going to pull it to where I'm going to try to tighten this hole here. And then you want to go ahead and chain 1, and working in the same stitch, you'll start your raspberry stitch cluster of single crochet, double crochet, and single crochet, all worked in the same stitch. Then you'll skip 2 as always, which is going to be the double crochet and the single crochet. So you're skipping 2, and you'll be right in the beginning of the next cluster, which is the single crochet of the beginning of the next cluster. You'll always be working in that stitch, and you'll do your next raspberry stitch cluster in that stitch. Skip 2, then repeat your raspberry stitch cluster. It's always important that you make sure you're going into that first single crochet. I don't know how I'm getting out of frame like that. Always make sure you're going to that first single crochet of the cluster and no other. If you are, then you're off count somewhere. So continue your raspberry stitch clusters all the way around. When you get back up to the beginning, I will show you what you need to do next. Okay, I've reached the end of round 7 now. And again, you want to slip stitch in the beginning single crochet and chain 1. And then you want to work your raspberry stitch cluster right in that first stitch. You're doing exactly the same thing as you did last round. Then you'll skip 2 stitches and work your next raspberry stitch cluster, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet. Sorry. Now, as I said, you've already finished rounds 6 and 7. You're starting round 8. So you want to repeat round 7 for the next 10 rounds, for a total of 12 rounds of these raspberry stitches. So you've already done 2, so you need to do 10 more rounds. And when you reach round 18, I will show you how to start your thumb. Okay, I went ahead and finished my row. And for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to do the thumb now. So you go ahead and whenever you finish your 12 total rounds of your raspberry stitch, then you can join me for this. So what you do is you slip stitch in the beginning single crochet like usual. But then when you're ready to start your thumb, you want to chain 5, 4 and 5. And now you want to skip this first raspberry stitch, which consists of 3 stitches. And then you want to begin in your normal stitch that you usually work in, which is your first single crochet of a cluster. So skip 1 cluster, go into the first single crochet of the next cluster and do a raspberry stitch cluster as normal. And then you want to just continue the round as normal. And when you get back up to your thumb area again here, I'll show you what you need to do. Okay, I just finished my last raspberry stitch of the round, and then I have this last raspberry stitch here, the other 2 stitches of my cluster, I should say. I worked my last raspberry stitch in my first single crochet, and it brings me right up to the chain of the thumb again. You just go right into that first chain. You should have 5 chains, 1 2 3 4 5, and you want to single crochet down that chain. So you should have 5 single crochets, 1 2 3 4 and 5. And then you'll want to skip these 2 stitches here and then start your next raspberry stitch. So you're going to be skipping this raspberry stitch here after the thumb and working your raspberry stitch in the next, and then continue the round as normal. And when you get back up here to the thumb again, I'll show you what it is that you need to do. Okay, when you've reached the part before your thumb, you should have 2 stitches here that finishes your cluster. So skip those 2 stitches and this first single crochet that's above your thumb here. You want to do a raspberry stitch. Then again, skip 2 stitches, 1 2, and in this third do a raspberry stitch. And then how many stitches it takes for you to get into your normal stitch that you work, which is the first single crochet of the cluster. For me, I have 1 stitch, so I'm skipping this 1 stitch and going right into my next cluster and doing a raspberry stitch, and then you just continue as normal. And it should stay as 1 round from here on out. So this very first raspberry stitch before the thumb was your very first raspberry stitch of the round. So I'm going to mark this raspberry as my first stitch of the round, because you're going to be working in 1 continuous round now. So that marks your round, and then you want to continue this round as normal, and we're doing round 20 right now. So just going to continue around, finish round 20. Almost to the beginning again. Okay, this is my first raspberry stitch of the round. There's no need to slip stitch, just go right into that stitch and do your raspberry stitch. Now as you can see, it's kind of going diagonal. This was the one from last round. Now your first one is going to be here, so it's going to be diagonal, so keep that in mind when you're counting, because here is where you're going to put your next raspberry stitch of the round. So you want to continue this around. This is round now that we're starting to work. Whoops. Is round 21. So you want to do round 21 through round 27. So for the next 7 rounds, you want to just continue to do the raspberry stitch around and around in one continuous round. And when you get to round 28, I'll see you back here. Okay, for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just going to pretend I've already done my 7 rounds. And when you get back up to your very first stitch, you just want to go ahead and just put a single crochet into it, and then do a single crochet in all the stitches around. This is going to be for round 28 after you've done your 7 rounds of raspberry stitch. Just do one stitch, one single crochet in each stitch around, so you're not skipping any stitches. And this is going to be the last round of your glove. And feel free, if you want to single crochet yourself a thumb to be a little bit more comfortable to wear. When you get back up to the beginning again, just slip stitch, chain 1, and cut your yarn. Cut it long enough to where you can use a tapestry needle to work it in your glove so that it doesn't show up. And then you can flip your glove inside out, and you can see all those beautiful raspberry stitches. So if you start to make your thumb and you feel that it's a little bit too far down, then do more rows of raspberry stitches before you start your thumb. If you want a longer glove, same thing. So you can make it as long as you want, and then when it's the length that you want, right up to where your thumb is, then you can start the thumb. So you can change it however you like. And that's it. That has been the tutorial to show you how to make the raspberry stitch fingerless gloves. I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you have, please don't forget to like and share this video, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.